All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And, we've been getting a ton of questions about AI agents, really after that video demo dropped, right?
Absolutely flooded with
People are
questions.
really interested. So
It's
today we're going to take a deep dive into what makes this tech so different and why it has everyone talking about y-
Yeah,
some seriously groundbreaking potential here.
absolutely. I think one of the most interesting things about this particular AI agent is how it really kind of blurs the line between what we think of as traditional AI, like a chatbot,
Right.
and something much more independent.
Right. It's not just processing information. It's
Yeah.
actually like taking action based on that information.
Exactly.
And they even went so far as to call it like a glimpse into artificial general intelligence.
Right.
I mean, isn't that a little bit of a stretch?
Well, I think it really depends on how you define AGI. I think
Right.
most of the AI that we're interacting with right now is very much like a specialist.
Okay.
It's amazing at one particular task. But this agent aims to be more of a generalist, right?
Uh,
It can tackle a variety of problems. So think about the difference between like a calculator and a human brain.
Okay.
One just follows instructions, the
Yeah.
other adapts and learns. And that's the leap that this technology is attempting.
Okay. So less, robots taking over the world and more
Mm,
like superpowered personal assistant kind of thing.
exactly.
In the video, they showed it doing all kinds of things like screening resumes, researching
Mhm.
real estate, even like analyzing stock trends.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really fascinating, right? Because when you take that resume example, it wasn't just scanning for keywords,
Yeah.
it was actually opening the files, going page by page, almost like a human would,
Wow.
which suggests a level of contextual understanding that we haven't really seen in AI.
Right. And isn't that what companies like Stonefly have been working towards?
Absolutely.
These secure, adaptable systems that can really manage complex tasks.
Yeah. Stonefly's expertise in data security and cloud solutions is going to be critical here because for an AI agent to really function well, it needs a secure and robust infrastructure.
Right.
And Stonefly provides that foundation.
So imagine this agent, powered by Stonefly Tech, just going through hundreds of resumes,
Yeah.
sifting through them, making decisions
Right.
while you're working on other things. I mean, that's a huge time saver.
Huge time saver.
They also had it doing real estate research, which, I mean, that seems incredibly complex.
And I think that's exactly the point that they're trying to showcase is that this agent can break down a large goal into those smaller manageable steps. Researching safe neighborhoods, school districts. They even had it write a Python program to calculate budgets based on different criteria.
Wait a minute, hold on. It wrote code.
It wrote code.
So does that mean it's like learning how to program on its own?
That's what's so fascinating is that the coding wasn't the end goal.
Right.
It was a tool to solve a problem.
Wow.
And that adaptability is what makes it potentially so groundbreaking.
And then there was that stock analysis bit. And it wasn't just, crunching numbers. It was pulling data through APIs, creating visualizations. It even built a simple website
It did.
to present the findings.
Right.
When I tried to build a basic website, it took me weeks.
Exactly.
This thing is just,
And I think it highlights the potential for wider applications, right? Because if it can learn to use these tools like website builders, what else could it master?
right.
And it raises some pretty interesting questions about, how we work
Right.
and the skills that we need to develop for the future.
Well, and they claim it performs at like a state-of-the-art level,
Mhm.
but isn't that based on really specific benchmarks?
Yeah.
How does that translate to like messy real-world problems?
I think that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Because benchmarks are these controlled environments.
Right.
But the fact that this agent is already being used on platforms like Upwork suggests there's some real-world applicability.
Right.
And that's where a company like Stonefly becomes really important. Because their focus on these real-world solutions would be essential for deploying this kind of technology safely and effectively.
They also mentioned open sourcing
But
parts of the code, which seems like a huge step.
it is.
But isn't there a risk in making this technology more accessible?
Well, there's always a risk, right?
Yeah. What if it gets into the wrong hands?
It's a valid concern. Open sourcing does come with risks,
Right.
but it also has the potential to accelerate progress.
Okay.
By inviting that collaboration, you get more eyes on the code, which can lead to faster development and even more robust security measures. And a company like Stonefly, with their focus on secure solutions, could play a key role in ensuring the responsible development of this tech within that open source environment.
So it seems like we're at a turning point here.
It does feel that way.
AI agents are becoming more capable, and this one in particular seems to be really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
And it really raises the question of Are we building tools or are we building potential competitors?
Right.
If an AI agent can handle complex tasks, what does that mean for our jobs, for
Yeah.
the economy, even our sense of what it means to be human?
That's a big one.
That's a big one, and I think it's something for you, the listener, to consider.
Absolutely. So we are really just at the tip of the iceberg here. We're only beginning to understand the implications of this technology. It is exciting. It's maybe even a little bit daunting.
A little bit.
But this is the future, and if you want to learn more about AI security and how companies like Stonefly are building solutions for this new frontier, you can visit www.stonefly.com or contact them at sales@stonefly.com. That's all the time we have for today, but keep those questions coming, and until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.